From City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, it is a renewal of North America's longest-running pro soccer rivalry. The Richmond Kickers play host to the Charleston Battery. Hi, everybody. Along with Joey Ellswick, I'm John Emmett. Joey, these are two teams coming in with different journeys. The Kickers just climbing above the foot of the table last week with a nice win over Toronto FC2. Meanwhile, Charleston, though slumping as of late, still has a shot at grabbing the 1 seed going into the playoffs. They're only 3 points out right now, and they are coming off a win on the road over Rochester.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John. Justin Portillo, a name that will ring in the ears of Kicker fans, scoring a goal last week in the win over Rochester. He also put that PK in the back of the net back when these two teams met in June down in Charleston. And for the Kickers, like you said, a great win. You know, this is a Kickers team that is sort of unequivocally moving into a rebuilding process of sorts. There's been some of these younger pieces to the puzzle are realizing their true talent while still, missing folks like Matthew Delicott, Mike Callahan, who's now transitioned to the bench, Sasa Garres as well. And as you said, Charleston is in a red-hot battle at the top of the USL East standings.
3 points out as play begins tonight as they chase Louisville and Charlotte. Meanwhile, it's going to be a much different lineup for Charleston tonight than what we saw last week at Rochester, in part because people are coming back from suspension. O'Brien Woodbine returns from a week off courtesy of the USL Disciplinary Committee, accumulation of red cards.
Yeah, O'Brien Woodbine, and fantastic sports name as well. Absolutely love it. But, yeah, it's good to have him back in the lineup. He's a guy who puts in a lot of minutes, making his 17th start out of 19 and 19th appearance for Charleston tonight. He does have some shots on goal and 3 assists, so definitely a contributor as well. And then flipping over to the Richmond side, his counterpart, Braden Troyer. And Braden Troyer is a guy who was pushed into the starting lineup from injury to Sasa Garres a few years ago. He has not looked back. He has been a cornerstone part of the defensive attack out there in that left back position, but also does a great job of pushing up and assisting up top, John.
And on a young team, he's been a guy that has stabilized a bit. So Charleston, as we mentioned, 5 newcomers in tonight's lineup from the group that won 1-0 at Rochester last week. They'll have Odisnell Cooper back in net, the Cuban defector, one of 3 on this squad. Has been a guy who's carried the load in goal all year long. A key subtraction, Romario Williams and his 15 goals out of the lineup. He serves a 1-game suspension tonight. Meanwhile, for the Kickers, Travis Wara is back in goal, and that's good news because the Kickers, who haven't won back-to-back games all season, are undefeated when Wara's in goal. They're 2-0.
And Travis Ward down from DC United, and as we talked about, Oliver Minitel up top there, Sonny Genet with the goal. And we'll be back with the game kickoff on the other side.
Has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, it goes a little something like this. I carefully prepare my disguise.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a tow truck on the way to you right now.
I approach with the utmost subtlety.
Absolutely.
I observe undetected.
Repairs include a lifetime guarantee.
And slip away without a trace. When my customers are happy, I'm happy. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the Elephant difference at elephant.com.
At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by 4 walls. Our office is out here, in our community.
I think Wara just didn't expect it to take kind of an unusually high bounce out there on that turf. But, yeah, like you said, a lucky break there for the Kickers that one didn't get found. So I think it surprised Charleston's attackers as much as it did Wara.
Well, one near heart attack bounce, and Woodbine almost a circus goal to get this underway. Kicker's the home team in the red as Wara plays the goal kick. Javier Cordovez is the central striker for Charleston tonight. Jared Van Schaik getting a rare opportunity to play, University of Portland product. Here's Forrest Lasso, who's back in the Charleston lineup. A speculative ball that is pursued by Kickers captain William Yambi. And Yambi's clearance will wind up a Charleston throw.
And that one does sail out of play, John. And we also want to make sure, folks, our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey. The USL encourages fans to donate to the American Red Cross at 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation.
Taylor Mueller with another long ball forward. Lee with that header to start the counter for Richmond, but Lasso breaks it up. And here's Justin Portillo, who had the only goal in the first meeting between these two teams early June, a 1-0 victory for Charleston at home. Van Schaik with the service. Headed away by Yambi. Loose ball in the 6th, Cordovez, and Charleston's on the scoreboard.
Tough break for the Kickers to give one up early. It was a great, just a strong play there by Cordovez to back up, make that turn, and just poke that one around. That was a tough one for Wara, John, as we'll get another look here.
Cordovez, the Cuban defector, and the Kickers unable to clear. That's a big play by Chang to keep the attack alive.
Yeah, I mean, Roberts was there, as was Yambi, and that was sort of the problem. I think they collided same place, same time there, and then Cordovez just a strong move to hold possession there, made a great turn, good clean strike towards goal, right across the shot of goal there, and Wara just nothing he could do about that. By the time he saw it, it was already by him.
So the substitute striker getting Charleston on the board in the first 2 minutes. Oddly enough, that may be a good sign for the Kickers. They gave up a 4th-minute goal last week and equalized a minute later, went on to win.
Alex Lee was a big part of that. That assist to the head of Sonny Janet there that found its way into the goal, got him a spot on the USL Team of the Week. So Kickers still making some noise in the league despite struggling in the standings.
Kickers trying to regroup as Yambi finds Lee.
I think Kickers just content right now, as you said, John, reeling a little bit from that, content to build some possession, connect some passes, and just try to find a rhythm as they try to push up the pitch here. But Cordovez is relentless with the pressure on this back line.
Yeah, a lot of high pressure from Charleston. They are very aggressive, of course, with Williams in their lineup, a 15-goal scorer who's also had time with Atlanta United and the Jamaican national team. Aggression to be expected, but relatively different lineup for Charleston tonight, same style. Here's Lee. Sonny Janet getting an early touch. Now Imura. Janet's role a little different tonight with this Richmond lineup as Chang played the ball ahead for Cordovez. Van Schaik. O'Brien Woodbine.
Cordovez just so big and strong up there and very comfortable with his back to the goal.
Ty Anunga, who was suspended last week. His pass for Thomas, swiped by Imura, and a little straight arm from Imura. He drew the foul.
Yeah, good strong play there, and quickly back to action for the Kickers, though. While the Kickers are ready to move, center official was not, and they'll have to do this one over again.
Nick Rodfate is the referee tonight. Ben Pilgrim, Max Smith are the assistants.
Moore making a great run to keep that one in, and I thought he might have won the Kickers a corner there. Looked like it did deflect, but instead a goal kick. Udai Murray is a guy I love to watch play, John. I love to see the way he sees the field, the way he leads passes. He's had some fitness issues the last couple of years, but the Kickers are a different team when he's out there with them.
I'm surprised he hasn't been more productive on the score sheet this season, wrestling there with Skylar Thomas, who's had some time with Toronto FC as Cooper puts the ball back in play, and an early 1-0 lead for Charleston. Here's Matt Bolduc, the hero last week, his second half goal giving the Kickers a win. Imura for Janet.
Pace of the Kickers is quickened as well, John. See a little bit more intensity now. They're feeling a little more confident getting the ball forward here against Charleston.
Troyer finds Janet. Johnny's service is denied by Taylor Mueller. And Cooper clears to the middle of the pitch.
There's Justin Portillo, who kind of snuffed out that effort and quickly played it back to goal.
Lee for Richmond. Oscar Umar, who's been a nice addition to this Kickers team at midseason. And Travis Wara, the DC United loanee, sends it out of play.
That's an unusual play there for Travis Wara. He's usually pretty accurate from goal there. And Travis Wara is one of the, usually don't say keepers are a lot of fun to watch when they don't have the ball, but Wara's energy and attitude really very infectious. And when he's stationed down there at the same end of the Red Army, he gets everybody fired up.
Cooper sends the ball for Thomas. Now Taylor Mueller. Forrest Lasso, who was out of the Charleston lineup last week, but has been, along with Mueller, a veteran mainstay. Their center backs are big, experienced people.
There's a lot of room on the bus to Rochester last week for Charleston, with so many folks staying behind on those accumulation of cards there.
I'm going to dig into the Atlanta United Academy a little bit for help. Here's Bolduc. Now Umar. Jade leaves it back for Roberts.
Good to see Milan Roberts back in the Kickers lineup as well. I know he was battling some small injuries and kind of accumulating for him. And there's our player to watch, Braden Troyer, making a great run.
He gave the Kickers a little space to operate. Umar. Lee pressing up. Again, Umar. Charleston, a second-minute goal in the battery. Looking for back-to-back road wins. Leading 1-0. Braden Troyer. Roberts again, a Canadian who actually had a mini-camp experience with the Edmonton Eskimos. Lee's run, is that onside? Won't matter as Brian Woodbine broke it up. William Yambi kind of jam it ahead. That's a Charleston throw.
Yeah, Charleston's showing some definite size. I mean, their back line is huge. The Richmond Kickers matching size in their central defense, but Alex Lee and Braden Troyer bringing some speed to the attack for Richmond when they are able to play that forward position.
Lasso at 6'5", Mueller at 6'2". Throw for the Kickers, and Lee finds the veteran captain Yambi. Travis Wara was the Kickers starter in goal opening day. That one's knocked down by Van Schaik. Portillo, Cordovez, Yambi with desperate defending.
Great job by Yambi to track back on that one, stay patient, and not get too aggressive there, and was able to just get the studs to that one so Wara could scoop it up safely.
Johnny with a gallivanting run. No whistle as Thomas won the ball.
Johnny, one of the smallest players on the pitch, and Fred Owusu-Sakiri as well as Samuel Asante, but all three of them seem to match intensity there. They do not play to their size at all.
And Charleston wound up offside as Skylar Thomas goes to ground.
Looks like maybe just cramping up a bit the way he kind of just collapsed and trying to stretch the legs out a little bit there.
This may be the most comfortable night for soccer we've had at City Stadium since, I don't know, April?
Yeah, it has been pretty much since opening day. As you talked about, opening day when Travis Wara was in the net, it was a beautiful win. The Kickers celebrating their 25th anniversary, and their rivalry, as old as the team is. But yeah, as you said, John, this is a wonderful night. We have had some very humid days, a couple days with the heat index above 100, even had to push some starts back to try to stay out of the heat and let the sun get down a bit.
Taya Nunga from Cameroon trying to get it started. Thomas back to Anunga. And Thomas with another speculative ball as Charleston continues to play those very long balls out of the back.
Yeah, and Charleston really holding all the pieces right now, John, with the goal lead. They can pull back and just try to maybe send some long ones in over the top and make some runs, but can't rest on their laurels too much. As you said, the Kickers were able to bounce back against Toronto last week, and we're looking at a lot of the same players out there from that wins getting the start tonight.
Two changes in the Kickers lineup with Alan Roberts returning and Lee going out, and then Sonny John A in a little bit of a different role as Oliver, who really hasn't had much of an opportunity to touch the ball yet, playing a central striker role for the Kickers, and John A kind of replacing Fred Owusu-Sakiri. Now turnover, and Bolduc comes away with the ball.
Bolduc is so confident moving forward with the ball at his feet.
Here's Oliver, and he takes a poke at the back post, but
I like the thought there, and I love the run by John A just to try to get something on it. He could have easily given up on that ball, but tried to get a piece to it, and we'll get another look at it right here. Started with a great pass forward. Oliver just saw a lane and took it. Maybe got a little bit too excited, a bit too much on that one, but like the thought from the Kickers of just playing one into the area and trying to create some chances.
The finishing product is so often eluded Richmond this season. Cordovez taken away by Yamura. And Lee rolls it back to Wara.
As you said, John, only 16 goals for the Kickers this year versus 41 for the Battery, but 15 of those are not on the field tonight.
And no Romario Williams, sits a one-game USL suspension. He's also had a run with the Jamaican national team at the Gold Cup, played a little bit with Atlanta United in the Gold Cup. Had a Richmond foul there against Oliver. So Charleston's had a taste of playing without Williams. When these teams first met, Williams had more goals than the Kickers.
Yes. Yeah, he has been lighting it up, and that was great overlapping play there by Bolduc to come back.
O'Brien Woodbine's pass is clipped away, and Umar gallops out toward midfield.
Kickers have definitely picked up the pace here in the last 5 minutes or so. I mean, getting one scored on you that early will fire you up, but the Kickers, I think, were kind of playing wait and see, and Charleston took advantage, and now the Kickers looking to be more of the aggressor.
Roberts finds Troyer. John A. Umar. Looking for Bolduc. Got a head to it.
That was a great flick back there by Amora.
Amora able to take it away from Anunga, and now Troyer with an ambitious ball. It's denied by Taylor Mueller.
Yeah, Mueller was waiting for that one, and John A. fast, but not that fast.
Cooper's clearance. Richmond wants a handball, and they get it after momentary delay. Cordovez knocked that down with his left arm. Imura.
And the better weather's definitely brought a great crowd out here tonight. You hear the drums from the Red Army in the background. And Richmond is getting some opportunities to build and getting some chances to really try to unlock this Charleston setup here, but they have 7 to 8 back at a time trying to stay in front of the Kickers right now and protect that first goal.
Bolduc trying to force one in there. Guerra starts the counter for Van Schaik jumping up. A strong play by Umar, and Roberts has possession. Now Troyer. The first meeting between these two teams, you go back and look at the score sheet, and it didn't feel like it in wide swaths, but the Kickers actually had, by a fair margin, the better of the possession time as we get a Charleston foul there.
I feel like that's been the story for the Kickers on the road this year. You know, they've definitely had some good looks, but as you said, just, you know, this isn't a team that isn't functioning. They're just having a little bit of trouble dialing in the scoring. I mean, they're creating opportunities and getting some good looks, but getting it inside that frame has been a challenge.
Umar's pass gives Michael Chang a chance to dangle a bit, but that's broken up by Imura.
And in defensively, Kalashaw's squad, they have also dealt with a plethora of different injuries. Nothing significant taking anyone out for a long period of time, but had a hard time keeping a consistent starting 11 out there with folks getting, you know, a knee putting them out for 3 weeks here, hamstring there, so.
John A. looking for Imura. Cooper has to abandon his line to come up with that one.
I think that might be the first time Cooper's really been tested tonight. He made the right call to quickly move up and pursue that one.
One of 3 Cuban defectors who are regulars in the Charleston lineup. All 3 on the field tonight. Roberts' header is broken up by Anunga. Anunga came out of the PDL to join Charleston, had some time in Cameroon's national junior program.
That is a very rich soccer tradition over there, so speaks a lot to his skill.
Oliver with a physical challenge, then he tumbles under the Anunga tackle.
I think the kickers might have gotten the advantage call on that one, but I'm not really sure how much of an advantage that was when the ball careens back towards the sideline, but the Red Army loving the effort there.
Great job by Troyer to deny Cordovez. Still a 1-0 Charleston lead in the 17th minute. And it's Troyer.
Mora calling to switch fields there, but instead they find Fernando,
who has been fairly uninvolved thus far as Mueller broke up that cross for a Richmond throw.
Yeah, Luis Fernando had a great-looking goal here a few weeks back. A nice run in and was able to just blast one into the back of the net. But
oh, Johnny!
Oh, there it is, John.
Sonny Johnny from the top of the box. A team that has so seldom gotten the bounce this season got one there, and we are level at 1.
That is 2 weeks in a row now for Sonny Johnny in the right place at the right time. Beautiful ball forward here. Troyer, it starts, we talked about Umar contributing and then Troyer there, but as you said, John, just Johnny gets it chest, doesn't even think about it. Head down towards goal. A beautiful shot there for Johnny.
It's Johnny's second goal of the season, second in 2 weeks.
And the kickers, as you said, answering back quickly here. 18th minute goal for them.
And we are tied at 1 as Anunga, pounded by Oliver. Now Lasso. Troyer should get an assist on that goal.
Absolutely should. Just beautifully played down ball there. And Sonny Johnny in that sort of that central mid position right underneath the forward. It's freed him up to get some great looks at goal here the last 2 weeks.
That ball knocked down by Lee. Now Bolduc. Lee again.
And now the pace quickens for Charleston. I think they felt like they could sit on that lead. We talked about it, John. The kickers were really holding a lot of possession there, and Charleston was content to defend.
Portillo's pass really pressured by Richmond, but now the Battery able to build the attack a bit as Van Schaik plays it along, and it winds up off Lee for a Charleston throw. Troyer is awarded an assist on the John A goal in the 17th minute after Cordovez opened the scoring in the 2nd minute. Van Schaik broken up by Imura. Charleston throw.
Doesn't take Charleston long to get back into Richmond's defensive half as Woodbine there looking for someone to try to connect with on the throw-in, and it looks like he's gonna, doesn't have a whole lot of real estate on this near side, but looks like he's gonna try to send this one long.
Charleston actually has had a lot of success with long throws this season, and Woodbine's throw wound up in the 6th, but kicker's able to clear it. Thomas knocks it down. Imura battling with Thomas. Now Bolduc. And the kickers with a chance to build up here. Lee finds Oliver, one of 2 Brazilians in tonight's starting Richmond 11. His pass challenged Umar, and Yambi will regroup. Roberts.
Kickers very patient here and content to sit back and pick their spot.
Now Wara plays one long. Lasso up in the air and wins a header and draws a foul.
And Bolduc, I don't think agreed with the call there, but the yell helps get the officials' attention there.
And the fact that Lasso's 6'5" and was going to win that ball anyway probably helped sway the officials. Chang giving chase with Troyer. That's a Charleston throw.
Chang thinking about it now. I think they're going to switch and look for another long throw-in opportunity. Soccer fans, don't forget Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Thomas, another guy who can wing it. Went short for Anunga. Chang plays it in, and Wara with a little contact from Cordovez, and it's a Richmond free kick.
Yeah, Travis Wara, though, tracking that one all the way, and he's such an aggressive keeper, and that's the type of play that he does not like to leave that up to the defenders to decide. If it's inside the 18 and he thinks he's got an angle, he is not going to hesitate to take it.
DC United loanee who's seen action with United each of the last 2 years, and at 24, they still yet have a bright MLS future. O'Brien Woodbine. Some high pressure from Oliver. Lasso in the middle for Anunga. Now Woodbine rolling it back.
We saw that just then from Oliver, and one of the things I feel like we've seen from the kickers that has really improved in their last 2 matchups is the communication. You see it through the body language, you see it through, you can hear it out here on the pitch. I mean, they're doing a very good job of talking to each other and keeping that communication up, and it's showing, and it's giving them positive results.
That ball got away from Yambi a bit. Leads to a Charleston throw in the attacking third. We are tied at 1. Just about 22 minutes in the books from City Stadium. Charleston unbeaten in their last 7 against the Kickers, going back to the 2014 playoffs.
Boldick got a piece of that one, but it's still
Guerra
centered.
played it in for Cordovez, and Travis Wara had to go to work.
Travis Wara laid out on that one. It did deflect, but Wara read that the whole way, and that is a great save by the keeper there because that one was through traffic. You see here, led forward, good give and go there. Woodbine centered it back, and yeah, Wara laid out and got a hand on that one.
Roberts able to get ahead to that corner kick, the first of the match. But Charleston will get a chance to reprise it.
Yeah, they'll reset here and just move it to the other flag, and Portillo will take his time heading over there to set up for it. And that's what Milan Roberts brings to you back there in that central defensive spot, is that height and that ability to get up above everyone else and keep that one out of goal.
Charleston's done some damage on set pieces. Roberts, 6'2", probably a factor in his return to the lineup tonight. The in-swinger loose in the 6, and Murrah got a boot to it. And John will break out. A great run from John. He tumbles, and Richmond gets a free kick.
That was beautiful from Sonny Jeannet. I mean, that was just world class, and then drawing the foul. And I was going to compliment the tackle there from Chang, but Jeannet just stayed with the ball there and persisted.
Yeah, that was a remarkable run around Chang.
2 goals, and it's what a difference of confidence will do for you when you put a couple in the back of the net 2 weeks in a row.
And playing a slightly different role tonight, and a little bit of a different tactical look for Richmond, which has gone 4-2-3-1 for most of the year, although they've kind of played with it a little bit. A lot of 4-5-1 defensively last week. Oliver, I think he played that ball unsafely. And Charleston gets a free kick.
Yeah, Oliver, a lot of energy out there tonight, but hasn't really settled into a fluid game while things have been clicking for his teammates out there tonight. Oliver's been disruptive and been able to put some pressure on the back line, but still trying to find his rhythm out there, getting the start tonight.
Long ball for Cordovez, and he was shadowed by Yambi, and Wara able to come off the line and handle it. Deadlocked at 1, 25th minute. 14th place Kickers against the 3rd place Battery.
Yeah, not the year the Kickers had hoped they would have, but there's still a lot of bright spots for this team and a chance to finish strong here. And
chance to kind of mess it up for other people. He had
yeah,
2 big incentives at this point. Lee tumbling under the challenge of Van Schaik, and it's a Richmond free kick.
And getting these 3 straight games at home helps a lot, too. Get to sleep in your own bed, practice on the same field for 3 weeks straight. And I think the Kickers have had kind of an odd schedule this year. They will head on the road for 3 straight, but hopefully carry some more momentum with them. As you said, this one knotted up.
Yeah. Oh, there's a giveaway. Cordovez picks the Roberts pass off. Portillo lays it off for Van Schaik, and he's denied by Wara.
Wara did a great job to just read that. Van Schaik, as you said, getting the nod tonight and sent that one right into the arms of Travis Wara. It was a good look off by Portillo and then played it out to his left. And you see a class play by Yambi to get back up and just shield that one so Wara could crawl over and smother it.
Fernando in pursuit of that ball, but it's out for a Charleston throw. 27th minute, tied at 1, but the Battery on the front foot here the last couple of minutes. Travis Wara has been a little busier than I think Lee Collishaw would like. And Roberts has to play that one back. Wara, a Pennsylvania native. Bolda gives chase but runs out of field.
Yeah, we've seen Wara play too that way. It is very windy out here tonight, and so that may be disrupting things a little bit for him as the wind's kind of pushing into Wara at the moment, but he'll have it at his back in the second. But take nothing away from Cordovez. There was some pressure up top also.
Now Taylor Mueller. Again, the long speculative ball forward, and Lee plays it back to Wara. Kickers looking for their first back-to-back wins of this season. Charleston trying to climb over 500 on the road.
Yeah, home has been kind to them. Both teams with 8 draws, though, but Charleston with that 11-5 mark is good for 3rd place in the East.
Umar up for that one. Fernando giving chase, but that's out for a Battery throw. Charleston and Atlanta United affiliate. They wound up facing Atlanta United in the Gold Cup and lost 3-2.
It seems a little bit of an unfair matchup there, but that is how the draw unfolded. Great clearance there on the comeback from
an aggressive play from Lasso, and Anunga with possession for Charleston. Now Portillo.
Portillo's such a dangerous player. He's playing back right now almost in a defensive mid spot as that kind of point of distribution, but 6 goals and 6 assists to his credit. He has been there when the Battery have needed him on the attack as well.
Cooper plays it out wide for Thomas. Hounded by Umar, and that's a Charleston throw.
Umar everywhere tonight out there, John. He is really very active moving around the pitch.
Roberts was way up the field there. Again, it's a Battery throw.
And Collishaw up off the bench a little bit upset about that, I think. And so we saw Roberts retreat quickly back to his central defensive position.
Chang hung up with Troyer, but the Battery just keeps working their way up the field with throw-ins.
Troyer and Amora doing a good job. Fernando helping out there. Now the Kickers are off and running.
Oliver out to midfield. John A. lays it off for Bolduc. He had the game winner last week. Now Lee broken up on a solid tackle from Woodbine.
Woodbine, a very experienced player, kind of anticipating that pass, saw Lee overlapping, but he and Bolduc will get a chance to work again here from the near side.
Now Lee toward the middle. John A. turns at the top of the 18, but Taylor Mueller denied that opportunity.
I felt the wind kind of get pulled out of the stadium for a second. Shunny John A. at the top of the box. 2 goals 2 weeks in a row. All eyes on number 10 in red.
Umar rolls it back to Roberts. Still deadlocked a half an hour in at City Stadium.
Like the pace for the Kickers. You know, they absorbed the little flurry from Charleston, gave up the early goal, which was unfortunate. It was a very tough one to defend and a tough one for Wara to stop. But since then, they've absorbed the counterpunch from Charleston, and they're still kind of dictating the pace and playing the game they want to play.
Skylar Thomas went up hard. Play continues.
And Cordovez was a little frustrated there. I'm not sure if that was more frustrated with no call from the official or from the decision of his teammates.
Everybody kind of stopped momentarily, but the officials did not participate in said stoppage.
That one a little bit strong from Yambi there. Roberts had trouble tracking back, but Troyer will clean it up.
He looks for Fernando in the middle of the field. That was knocked down by Thomas. And now long ball forward for Bolduc. That was headed down by Thomas.
Oliver was very upset for the no call there. He felt that he got called for something very similar a few minutes ago. And then just a tackle out of frustration there. And we may see definitely going to be a conversation had. I don't know if we'll see a booking here, but.
Oh, man. You know, I'm not sure if that's for the challenge or if Oliver offered an officiating hint.
Yeah, I think his mouth may have drew that a little bit more. Yeah, there's the contact over the back of Bolduc. Then Oliver very aggressively pursuing that one. And, yeah, I think it was he got stopped during the conversation as he was walking away. So
Mr. Fate had not reached for his card collection.
No.
It looked like it was just going to be a lecture.
And Oliver wasn't interested in having the conversation and drew the card for it.
So it's the first caution of the game. And Cooper restarts. Cordovez wound up in a heap along the far sideline. Fernando getting involved, and Richmond comes out of that with a throw. A free kick.
Right there in front of the sideline. Troyer feinted the big cross-field pass to Lee, but instead will choose to just play it back, and more patience from the Kickers with possession.
Oscar Umar. Troyer, and Murrah's trying to get people's attention. He was wide open in the middle of the field. Oliver with the turn.
And this is where Oliver is his most dangerous, just moving forward with the ball at his feet.
Now Fernando. Troyer had some space. Tried to play it in, but Thomas right there.
Troyer had that one to do over again. I think he really wanted to try to lift that one a little bit more and just lost his plant foot there on the pass.
Woodbine finds Guerra. Atula Guerra from Trinidad and Tobago. Portillo trying to play a little 1-2 there with Guerra. Wara comes up with it.
There's a lot of CONCACAF representation here between these two clubs. As Durkin also currently out serving for his club with the United States national team.
Well, there's a considerable senior international experience in this Charleston lineup. Guerra has 37 caps for Trinidad and Tobago. Mueller giving chase. Fernando won it. Fernando, opportunity behind Oliver.
Luis Fernando made a phenomenal run there, just wanted it more. Turned on the speed, made a great play right down the end line, which made it hard for defense to commit to marking him. And unfortunately, I think Oliver had already made the run in, and Jane and Umar just a little bit too quick for the pass back.
And that has been an all too familiar refrain for the home side this season. The final product so often elusive. Guerra. Now Forrest Lasso. Portillo, who has a couple of penalty goals in 1-0 Charleston wins this season. One last week, one earlier this year against the Kickers. Well, that was a tough break too. Handball in the box. One of those things that was an obvious call, but there was no way to anticipate that bounce. Cordovez, as he went to the byline with Yambi, and it'll be a Richmond free goal kick.
And here's another great look here as you just see Fernando, and I think really gave up on it. Thought he was just going to be satisfied with it going out of play, but Fernando stayed with it. And as you said, Johnny just came in full speed there and maybe could have checked down one more gear. And I don't know if they could have stopped that one if Johnny had timed that run a little bit slower.
I thought maybe he was looking for Oliver. Ball wound up behind. They had 2 options there.
But like that thought process from the kickers, and would definitely like to see a couple more chances like that. Here's Johnny on the
another
loose again.
buccaneering run from Johnny, finds Oliver, and his strike, it finds the back of the net.
Absolutely phenomenal play. The kickers had been working the flanks all night, left side, right side. They had spread Charleston out. The battery just standing, staring at each other in disbelief. A beautiful run from John A. Left it for Oliver, and Coach Kalishaw making a great call tonight with this starting lineup. John A. and Oliver are exactly where they need to be.
And the Red Army's smoking the kickers 2nd week in a row.
And everybody just watching as John A. leaves it for Oliver, and Oliver does not hesitate. And you talked about that end result not being there. The Draper Aiden goal here scored by the kickers. And it's presented by Draper Aiden Engineering the Experience and Sonny John A. Engineering the Experience there, John. That was a great run. And the kickers haven't hesitated. They've just put their head down, found a lane, and fired towards the net tonight. And it is good to see that.
36th minute, Oliver. He's a Brazilian, so one name will do. And that is his. He has more goals than names now.
Yeah.
That is his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, Brazilian strikers have never found a shot they didn't like.
Oliver, first-year kicker, previous experience includes Puerto Rico FC. And John A. officially credited with the helper, and the kickers have their first lead of the match.
Charleston in a little bit of disbelief.
Nunga tumbles under the John A. challenge. John A. has runners. He finds Oliver, who's muscled off by Skylar Thomas.
Yeah, the bigger man just won the battle there. Oh, but Oliver goes down. Looks like, I don't believe there was intention from Thomas, but Oliver was definitely pursuing him heavily, and Thomas brought the arm up, and now he's shown the yellow.
Yeah, Mr. Fate goes right to the yellow card. I'll be curious to see the replay on that. Because Thomas, I'm not sure, realized exactly where Oliver was.
And I think he was just trying to create some space for him, and he has that height over Oliver, and what normally would have been maybe a little push off in the chest takes Oliver right into the mouth there. And they don't, the officials just don't hesitate there. Anything near the head or the face, you're going to see a yellow. That's almost an automatic. And Thomas and Oliver having the conversation there now. And like I said, I don't think there's any intent. He's pleading his case to Oliver to let him know that the contact was incidental.
It is the 3rd caution of the season for Skylar Thomas.
Second time we've seen a booking here tonight, John.
Yep, Oliver picked up the first yellow of the evening. Each team now has one, and Sonny John A. will get this thing restarted.
2 out on the wall for Charleston.
Oof. Had Roberts and Oliver, who at 5'10", got up in the air pretty effectively right there, but didn't quite catch up.
Yeah, Yambi kind of taking the captain's duty there and trying to plead the case for his guys, but the whistle was blown. It was a great thought by Yambi, and Oliver was just inches away, but yeah, the tangle up there and the whistle's blown, so it doesn't matter. Either way, I think that one was going to be headed out.
Yambi never did get off the ground as he and Forrest Lasso wound up a little bit of an embrace there, but it's a goal kick for Charleston, 40th minute. In a 2-1 kickers lead. Guerra got the head to that one. And Sheik's been pretty effective in just his 2nd start of the season. O'Brien Woodbine trying to beat defenders 1v2, and he lost the challenge, but it's a Charleston throw.
Yeah, Bolduc wasting no time there. They know exactly what Charleston wanted to do with Woodbine, and so Bolduc just came all the way back to help out. No, John, I thought it was a throw-in as well. It is a corner. So that one did bounce right across the end line inside the corner flag.
Third corner of the match, all for Charleston. This time, Wara handles it in traffic.
That's been the best result for the Kickers from the corner flag tonight.
Imura trying to launch the counter, and he finds Fernando. Terrific hustle there from Chang.
Lee Collishaw has taken the leash off these guys and set them free to run forward.
Well, it does seem like they're playing with considerably more tempo than what we saw earlier in the year. And Shake rolls it back. Chang sends it wide. Here's Thomas. Battery going to reorganize here.
And I think Battery content to take a little breather here and pass this one around on the back line as the Kickers now are the ones protecting their lead.
Guerra and Van Shake were not on the same page of the playbook right there.
No, they weren't. But I will tell you who is. It's Mike Watts. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 Eastern on SiriusXM-FC Channel 85. And don't forget, SiriusXM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Travis Wara restarts play. Murrah dropping it back for Lee. Nifty little back heel there from Oliver, but broken up by O'Brien Woodbine. Now Yambi.
I think Yambi saw the options, kind of felt like the defenders were a little bit forward, and the safe play there was just to sky that one out.
Ty Anunga. Taylor Mueller, University of Washington product.
Looks like we got a little bit of a flip-flop here too, as Guerra is sort of back in that defensive mid spot, and now Portillo has moved up in the midfield.
Great Troyer denying Chang an opportunity to get a touch, but it's a Charleston throw, and here's Portillo.
Portillo's almost got that Riquelme quality where he can just sit back and distribute, or he can move forward and help you score some.
Forrest Lasso. Anunga for Woodbine. And that's off Lee for the fourth Battery corner of the evening.
Alex Lee, not just from his recognition by the USL this week, but being able to see him every game this season, he's really just settled in to be a quality defender. I think at times maybe over pursued earlier in his career, but he has really sharpened up his game on the back line.
Well, Portillo's corner punched away by Wara. Then we had a foul in the box against Charleston.
Travis Wara, just such a phenomenal keeper. It's want to see him have all the success in the world with DC United, but would also love to see him in the net in Richmond as much as possible as well.
Had some time earlier in the year with United, a team that has struggled enormously. And
yeah, the Red Army fell in love with Wara. Saw a few more starts in Richmond last season, but yeah, he is welcome back with open arms every time he makes a stop here.
Now here's Lee. Again, the Kickers pressing. Got Yamura. Roberts. Braden Troyer. Roberts again, or this is Umar finding Fernando. Oh, nice turn from Fernando. Another nice turn.
Great footwork there by Luis Fernando, and that's the type of footwork that allowed him to make that great run a few minutes ago.
Yeah, nice little run of possession here for the Kickers. Udai Yamura. Finds Lee, little 1-2.
Lee with a nice little drag there to bring that ball back.
Lee again for Yamura. Kickers having a little Barcelona moment here.
Yeah. They are just running Charleston ragged here towards the end of the first.
15 seconds before the 45. Haven't seen the stoppage time at 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's just with the 2 cards. We haven't really had, the 2 bookings have been the only major stoppages. We had a brief moment when Thomas went down with what looked to be like a cramp earlier, but this has been a relatively, other than those 2 incidents, it's been pretty quiet. We do have 2 balls on the field at the moment, but our Saxon ball kids clean that up quickly.
Mueller, an aggressive ball forward. Van Schaik won the header. That's broken up by Roberts, and Yambi shepherds the ball back to Wara.
And Wara content to just hold this one and do the veteran move there, eat a little bit more clock. The Kickers will have no problem taking a 2-1 lead into the locker room.
And Wara will be in no hurry to launch this.
Center official does check his watch.
Thomas played it forward. Troyer wins the header. It's out for a Charleston throw in the dying seconds of the first half. And that's it.
Yeah, Fernando stood in front of it, and I don't think the official had any interest in settling that one. He said, let's just call it. And there's got to be a guy who's feeling very good carrying this 2-1 lead to the half, John.
It's 2 weeks in a row the Kickers have conceded very early in the match, and then the Kickers responding.
And this was a big part of it, the Sonny Jeannet run and the lead to Oliver.
And Oliver slots it home, and that's the goal that gives the Kickers a 2-1 halftime advantage over the Charleston Battery. We are back with halftime activity next, Richmond Kickers Soccer.
Hey, congratulations, guys.
Like to donate to the USL encourages fans to donate to the American Red
Cross. You guys all get one, right?
1-800 Red Cross.
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
All right, it's time for the doctor.
I'm gonna leave you alone when I cross the line. Standing high at this moment in time. Gonna push to the side. Gonna hold on now, 'cause I believe in love at this moment in time. This moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by 4 walls. Our office is out here in our community. CBS 6 News at 11, working for you.
The Saxon Shoes ball kids. We had a pretty good first half, I thought.
Oh, yeah, strong showing from them. I mean, very rarely do they get an extra ball out on the field, and it just bounced off the wall. They tried to give him one for the throw-in. Saxon ball kids doing a great job tonight.
That's a pretty athletic-looking group, too. I coached some of that age group. I think I'd take those kids right now.
Absolutely. I think the only people we would take them over, the Richmond Kickers here. We wouldn't take them over them. They've had a phenomenal first half, John.
Sonny Jeannet with the dynamic runs and Oliver, but early it was Charleston. Cordovez takes a hard-won ball. I think that was Chang that kept it alive, and Cordovez is getting a chance to play tonight with Romario Williams suspended, the reserve Cuban striker, giving Charleston a 1-0 lead in the opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was just, like you said, just a dynamic, strong play there, and just followed that one through as Wara gets the save. And
Travis Wara had a couple of big saves early, and then the Kickers bounced back as Jeannet on the business end of that Troyer service.
I've seen that multiple times now, and I'm still jaw-dropped from how far away Troyer sent that ball and how well John A. controlled that. It's a beautiful job just to chest that one down, didn't hesitate, struck that towards goal.
Wara was tested on a couple of occasions in the middle of the half. Alert play there.
And this was the Woodbine one.
Here,
yeah, centered it back, and Cordovez just looked like he didn't get the full touch on that one.
I just scuffed it a little bit. Wara still had to be alert. And then the Van Shake opportunity.
And Yambi with the veteran move there to shield it. And here we go, John. Number 2.
Kickers bounce back, and here's Oliver off the feed from John A. That was a terrific run in midfield by John A. to get some space.
He really did. As we said, the kickers had been working the flanks for the most part. Fernando, Lee, Troyer, those folks really getting involved out on the right side and the left side, respectively. And John A. took advantage of an open lane in the midfield, and then Oliver just with a very similar to John A. one touch and put it towards goal.
And a team that has struggled to put the onion in the old onion bag has scored twice and a half, and they have 4 in a game and a half now, which by their standards is an explosion.
Yeah, a team with 16 goals on the year, 4 in the last 2. Things are looking up here as the kickers in halftime.
The Moon half out there, and kickers halfway home looking for 3 points. 2-1 Richmond over Charleston from City Stadium. We will come back with more halftime activity next. Kickers soccer on CBS 6.3 and our friends at USL YouTube.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent until I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
SAFC forward AJ Ajekwa, who was born in the U.S., went to boarding school in Cameroon for a year at the age of 13. The life lessons he learned there helped him overcome once being cut from his high school team to turning soccer into a career.
When I came back to the States is when a couple of my friends told me, oh, try out for the high school team. Went out to the high school tryout and probably lasted about 30 seconds. And the head coach goes, all right, he lines the whole team up and he goes, AJ to the middle. He kicks the ball up and I probably missed it like 3 or 4 times. And then he goes, get out. I didn't make the high school soccer team until my junior year. Being the competitive person I was, just playing basketball and stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this team. So I just kept pushing and working. I mean, like my work ethic is just everything to me. My mom always said, like, hard work, hard work, hard work. You know, if you want to make it in life, if you want to make it in the society, you have to work.
And with that hard work, AJ went on to play collegiately at Chico State, where he realized he wanted to further his soccer career.
So I told my mom, I was like, yo, Mom, I'm gonna finish school, but I wanna go to Europe. She goes, if you buy your ticket, you can go. And next thing you know, I bought a one-way ticket to England, and I was gone. When I was in England, I mean, I tried so many teams. I contacted probably like 4 or 5 teams in like different leagues, trying to get an opportunity. And then Biggleswade United gave me an opportunity to play for their U23 team, which I'm really grateful for. They gave me a call to their first team, and on my debut game, it was an FA Cup match, and I scored 2 goals, and it was just like, my head just went from there, and I was like, yes, this is the relief I need.
After a successful season with Biggleswade United, Ajekwa returned home to the States, where he went on trial with LA2 and soon after signed with Orange County. Now, AJ finds himself here in San Antonio.
Going through what I went through just helped me become the person I am today. I'm still growing today, so I still make mistakes, but I'm not the type of person to make the same mistake twice. I'm a better person, I feel like, just being open-minded to a lot of things and being optimistic. Like life as it comes, you grow through what you go through.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna lean on up when I cross the line, standing high above this moment in time. Gonna push to the side, gonna hold on tonight, 'cause I believe in love at this moment in time. This moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
United League Soccer from City Stadium tonight. John Emmett along with Joey Ellswick. Richmond Kickers a 2-1 lead over the Charleston Battery. Battery striking in the opening 2 minutes, but the Kickers for the second week in a row conceding an early goal, then answering back. And the Kickers going after back-to-back wins for the first time this season as we look at the GRTC Transit System stats, Joey. And a couple of things that jump out. The Kickers even in shots, and they had good stretches of possession in the opening 45.
Yeah, great job. Just very patient, but anticipated the opening, turned up the pace when the opportunity presented itself. It felt very fluid. It didn't feel forced at any time, and it really lulled Charleston, I think, into a sort of sense of rhythm, and then that's when the speed would kick in. And as you see there, the shots even, the yellow cards apiece there, a little bit few more fouls on the Battery. Battery did get 4 from the flag. The Kickers didn't take a corner kick.
Yeah, whoever is counting saves, I don't want them in charge of my bank account. I'll tell you that right now. Travis Wara had what appeared to be 2 outstanding stops. Cooper did not have a save in the opening 45. The Kickers played, I thought, pretty attractive attacking soccer in the first 45 tonight. But it's a team that hasn't had a lot of success, and Charleston has to feel a little sense of desperation. The Kickers would like to have these 3 points. Charleston, if they're going to grab that 1 seed, I think this is a game, especially with the way their schedule shakes out down the road, they have to have the 3. Do you park the bus if you're Lee Kalishaw?
Absolutely not. I think for Lee Kalishaw, it's about more than tonight, and it's about more than the end of this season. I mean, he's got pieces on the board out there tonight that are a part of the future of this club, and so I think anytime you get real minutes out there, you keep playing, because while the Kickers may not have an opportunity to do what they want for the rest of the season, and they may not control their destiny, they do have an opportunity to end on a high note, and I think this is one of the most fluid performances I've seen from them, and I don't think you change anything to disrupt that. Charleston are sort of the ones, as you said, who need this win. It doesn't ruin their season at all, but they're the ones fighting for position at the top of the table for the Kickers. This is just a chance to get out there and have fun, and I think a couple things for them. That pressure is off a bit. I think folks are healthy. I think Coach Kalishaw's got the players he wants in his starting 11 right now, and having Wara down from D.C. is also a huge addition. And I think most importantly, John, as we talked about, it is a beautiful night here. The Kickers can play an elevated pace because they're not going to just have the wind taken out of them. We have played so many games here this summer in 90, 100-degree heat index, just heavy, humid, nasty, traditional Richmond summers. But it's been a little bit more brutal here when the Kickers have been at home than they're used to. And for Charleston right now, they've got some players missing that are key, and they've got some guys coming back who haven't been there. And so I think the Kickers have caught them at the right time to sort of be a little bit discombobulated, and they've taken advantage.
No Romario Williams for Charleston tonight, and that obviously impacts the chemistry offensively. It appears neither club has offered a change to start the second half. And we are underway with the final 45 from City Stadium. Lasso heads the ball forward, and Murrah gets a foot to that. Forrest Lasso will let it roll out for a Charleston goal kick.
Fans, don't forget the USL doing their part to help out. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey. And the USL encourages fans to donate to the American Red Cross at 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation.
Anunga, nice touch, then trying to spring Cordovez up top, and Wara was about a $25 cab ride off his line, but able to clear.
Did a good job of coming out and cleaning that one up, John.
Murrah tumbles, and that's a Charleston foul.
Aggressive challenge there, and the Kickers will take their time here. And, another thing we talked about with parking the bus, I think for Lee Kalishaw, he's got to see what his team has now defending a lead for a whole half. The Kickers have not had that opportunity. And so this is another good opportunity to assess the team he has on the pitch right now.
Umar rolls it back to Wara. It's Troyer, Yambi, Roberts, Alex Lee, the back line. Fernando Umar, Uday Amura, and Bolduc in the midfield. And Janet tucked under Oliver up top. At times it's looked sort of 4-4-2-ish.
Yes, yeah. And I think they've kind of taken a little bit more of a traditional shape here as they've been trying to spring back.
Charleston's back four, Woodbine, Lasso, Mueller, Thomas. Midfield, Van Schaik getting a rare start. Anunga, Portillo, and Chang. Cordovez and Guerra, who actually kind of flipped with Portillo at one point, playing up top. Cooper in net. That ball in, deflected away by Lee. Then Guerra played it back. Little chip from Portillo is denied by Troyer.
And Charleston with a lot of white jerseys pushed forward here. They're definitely hoping to catch the Kickers sleeping a little bit as they did in the first half, but Richmond doing a good job marking and keeping their numbers back, trying to keep those jerseys in front of them.
Long ball from Cooper. Troyer wound up entangled with Cordovez, and that's a foul that goes in favor of Richmond.
And in a lot of ways tonight, John, another thing we've seen is Richmond with this starting lineup in this particular formation where Lee Kalishaw has deployed his team. It's a little bit of a size versus speed game, and against teams like St. Louis where the size won defensively, Richmond's been able to take advantage of their speed with players like Fernando, Oliver, Sonny Janet.
Here's Chang for Charleston. Feeds Portillo. Now Thomas.
As we talked about, a 25-year-old rivalry existing as long as the kickers have, and Portillo's been a part of that for the last few years, and he is kind of that X factor out there because he can do a little bit of everything.
Woodbine rolling it all the way back.
Charleston trying to take a page out of the kicker's book. At least initially looked like they wanted to maintain possession, but went back to the long ball play, John.
Kind of probing around the park there. Ball was headed out by Lee for a throw. Now Cordovez, and he just missed with an ambitious strike.
There was a lot of pace on that from outside of the 18 as Lee Colashaw kind of coaching the defenders there about how he wanted to see that overlap to try to prevent something from that happening again. But that was a rocket wide to the left there, as you said. It's just the strength of Cordovez, and just blasted that one with the left foot right into the Chick-fil-A banner.
Lasso knocked that ball down. And it winds up a kicker throw.
Cordovez hit that shot so hard, we're getting the PA announcement now for safety of balls flying into the stands. That's how much pace was on that shot.
That may not have been a coincidence. Having sat in that chair, I know you're supposed to read that a little bit earlier, but that might not have been a coincidence.
That was the reminder.
Here's Roberts for Richmond.
I think Roberts being back there in that central defensive spot and being 100% also just a little bit more comfort to the midfield, not having to trail back as much to help out defensively.
A pretty good run there. Now Chang plays it wide for Van Schaik, who's had some nice touches. Portillo has a little space. Oh, and he's looking for Woodbine, who ran out of angle.
Yeah, Woodbine made a good run. We saw him with a lot of pace from the left side. He had sort of made the switch and overlapped on the right there and just snuck in behind everybody because he was out of position. And it almost worked into his advantage, but led him too far. It's into the side netting, and Wara will get a chance to blast it back into play.
Kickers up 2-1. A little over 5 minutes into the second half.
Soccer fans, don't forget Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
That's off Thomas for a Richmond throw. Fernando gets it started for Troyer. Umar.
And the kickers are getting a lot of time in the midfield. I don't know if when Umar had that at his feet, 3 midfielders just sat on their heels and watched it.
Boy, Troyer with space. That was headed away by Lasso and cleared forward by Chang. Nunga got a touch, and now Van Schaik relieving pressure.
And there's Roberts there making a good play as that one. And I don't think Yambi realized how close Cordovez was when he tried to head that one over.
Portillo another opportunity trying to send Chang, but Braden Troyer right there.
Yeah, fool me once for Troyer there. And Woodbine got behind him. He was not going to let the same thing happen for Chang.
Here's Yambi. 6.5 minutes gone of the final 45. Kickers recovering after Charleston struck in the opening 2 minutes.
And you hear the Red Army, very strong presence. We will tip of the hat to Charleston. They have a lone drummer playing in front of their banner and flag with one other member of their fan group making the trip. I think they've got some other supporters scattered throughout the crowd.
Cordovez is going to have an opportunity. Oh, and he just missed.
You're not going to get an easier bunny there. Travis Wara is sort of equally frustrated and also amped that that one didn't get through.
Kickers were convinced he was offside. Wara was chewing on the linesman, but good grief, that's an absolute sitter.
And Wara did the only thing a keeper can do in that position.
Pray.
Come forward. Yeah, exactly. Come forward, try to make yourself as big as you can in front of him and throw off the window, and he did just enough of that. And Cordovez even tried to put a nice touch on it.
There's a hard foul and a yellow card for Van Schaik.
And Van Schaik there needs to walk away because the smirk in the face of the official not going to win him any favors here moving forward. And Oliver's still down, and it looked like Bolduc was over top of him at first. I don't know, and the training staff is now being called onto the pitch, and I don't don't know how severe the contact was there.
Van Scheidt of the battery. Caution to number 5, Van Scheidt.
It's the third yellow card of the game, second issued to a battery player.
Head on up to the Carytown Merchants Association.
Yeah, this was a little bit off the ball, so it was.
Declaring your prize from the Frisbee toss contest.
Yeah, that's just studs down into the shins. Yeah, especially as with an attacking player there moving forward. That's just, yeah, pretty vicious tackle there, and Oliver skying up. Made sure it caught the attention of the officials, and it was right in front of the other lines judge as well. So officials had a clear look at that to make that call.
Oliver scored Richmond's second goal. The Brazilian back on his feet.
Micah Hedgepeth, Angela Mercer, Shannon Plum.
When play resumes, it will be a Richmond free kick. Cordovez already has a goal tonight, but he will see that one that just clicked off the post in his nightmares on the bus ride home.
Yeah. Sonny Janet all smiles there as he's trying to continue a little bit more staying in the ear of the official. But Janet got a lot to smile about tonight with a goal and assist to his credit as well. Now Oliver even giving the fourth official his side of the story. He should be waved back into action. Would hate to see for the Kickers to have to end his night early.
For the moment, they'll play with 10. And the service in is headed clear by Lasso.
Oliver waved back on, so he returns to the pitch for the Kickers.
Now here's Umar for Richmond. Yambi way up. Now Bolduc. Bolduc's service. And that was headed down by Mueller. A lot of contact.
Yeah, this one's getting a little chippy here, and I think Charleston feeling the frustration of things not going their way, and they're also just a little bit frustrated by what the Kickers have been throwing at them. We'll take another look at it. Bolduc just did a great job to send that one in. Roberts tried to break free, and
that's a foul.
That was definitely an aggressive play right into the hip of the defender there, and so I think Charleston has a case to be upset.
Especially now it's Richmond's first corner of the game. Janet with the service. And that was broken up by Lasso, and Guerra gets a piece of it. Right now Guerra with an opportunity to roam a bit.
Yeah, Umar tried to poke that one away, but Guerra stayed with it. And pro foul there from Fernando.
Yeah, run down from behind by Fernando.
Yeah, not much Fernando could do there, but just try to disrupt that in a way that doesn't get him a yellow card. They've been handed out pretty liberally tonight.
Portillo rolls it back to Mueller. Now it's a Nunga. Skylar Thomas. Mueller again. Portillo returns it.
And Portillo now's dropped back into that more defensive mid spot as Richmond's attack has gotten more aggressive.
Nunga jumping up there, and he and Troyer scrap for what turns out to be a Richmond goal kick.
That's the kind of work that Braden Troyer's become known for. You know, he just plays strong down there, gets good position, stays home defensively. He has been a very, very fun player to watch develop here at the Richmond Kickers Club.
And a South Carolinian who played his college soccer at the University of South Carolina. Forrest Lasso got ahead to that, but Fernando comes down with the possession.
It's a quickness out of Luis Fernando that we're seeing tonight. It's always been a very sharp attacker, but just something a little bit faster there tonight.
Braden Troyer has to roll it back to Wara. Mueller up for the header. Portillo dropping it back for Lasso. Bolduc comes away with the possession, trying to send Fernando. Mueller. Now Chang. Portillo. Kickers up 2-1. A little past the hour mark here.
Something I've seen Sonny Jeannet do tonight that's also a little bit of a change and worked well for him is not getting caught for those 50-50 balls, but just trying to anticipate where they're going to land and make that second touch. And it's something Lee Colishaw has been doing for years with his players, and I think Sonny Jeannet is really getting good at reading that and making that great second touch off those high balls played in.
Well, what started as a good run from Anunga required a lot of work from Mueller to keep possession. And that's out for a Richmond throw. Kickers did a nice job of regroup, I thought, after that Anunga run.
They did, yeah. They're doing a good job of holding their shape, and that back defensive four staying home. And Fernando takes another one away off the throw-in.
Fernando's played well at times defensively in traffic tonight.
Risky challenge from Amura as he went high with the boot there, but got away with it.
Yambi able to clear it down the field. Mueller for Forrest Lasso.
Charleston still sort of stretching the back out. They're really spreading things out on the back line, trying to free things up for the likes of Woodbine and Thomas to try to get forward.
Not sure how Woodbine didn't wind up on the end of that pass from Mueller, but the battery regrouping. Chang in the middle of the park.
Bolduc did a good job of marking there to not have Thomas for that outlet pass to the right be free.
Woodbine service denied by Fernando, but I think with a handball.
Yeah, Fernando just sort of threw the body into it and did the smart thing to turn and protect himself. Might have taken that one right in the stomach or the face, but when he turned, didn't get the back to it. Instead, got the arm and the shoulder into it.
Lee Colishaw preparing Jackson Eske perhaps to enter the match.
Jackson Eske is an exciting player to watch too. Another good young talent, a lot of quickness, and I think with Oliver carrying a card and being shaken up, Eske could find his way into that spot. We'll be interested to see where he assigns him.
Portillo's free kick is headed clear by Yambi, but an opportunity for Guerra denied in traffic. Now Chang chips it in. Cordova's got a head to that, but Lee able to jam it out.
Two nice headers there, but nobody really turned towards goal to do anything with it, and Chang and Oliver getting into it there.
And Oliver's not, Chang is really unhappy, and he's going to offer some helpful officiating hits.
Yeah. Chang extremely frustrated there with that call. And, you know, for a team that had a lot of folks sitting out last week, I don't think Charleston's learned to settle down quite yet.
I'm a little surprised that the referee was as magnanimous as he was at that lecture.
It very clearly bounced up off the hand of Chang, and maybe he's arguing the intent, but when it's that clean of a hit, you have to make that call.
Thomas, a physical challenge there to get Guerra rolling.
And Guerra and Amura have found themselves battling a lot here in the second half. It's become very physical between those two in the midfield.
Woodbine, Portillo. Now across for Thomas. Rolls it back to Mueller. Portillo doing work to chase that one down for his Lasso.
Kicker's doing a good job just keeping that pressure up. Oliver's been working very hard, doing that work that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but just staying on that back line, especially when they want to spread things that far out.
Mueller and Lasso continue to exchange passes, 2-1 kickers. A little past the hour mark.
And defensively, John, kickers have almost dropped into a 4-3-3 here, and they're just holding that line, and it's doing great. It's not allowing any short passes forward.
Getting really compact again as they did for a wide swath of last week's match as Bolduc trying to make the wide run is denied by Skylar Thomas. Chang plays one, looking for Cordovez, but Yambi right there.
Veteran played there just to volley that one out and allow his team some time to get back. And now two substitutions, I think, coming on, John.
Yeah, we've got Eske coming in, and we've got Mikey Minitillo
Mikey Minotillo is an exciting player. We haven't seen a lot out of him this year, but both of these substitutions are presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. So our 2 goal scorers, John, heading to the bench. Sonny Janet with a goal and an assist to his credit. He got things started for the Kickers and then connected a beautiful ball forward and led that one over for Oliver. So Mikey Minotillo on and Jackson Eske. And so Kickers are going to put some fresh legs up top.
And you smacked it out of the yard. Oliver with his goal and his yellow card done for the evening. Sonny Janet had a tremendous first half. We'll call it a night as the Kickers make the game's first 2 substitutions. Anunga denied there by Bolduc, and it's a Richmond throw. Substitutions coming in the 64th minute.
Minotillo with a nice first touch there for the great way to start his evening off.
And he finds Bolduc battling with Thomas. Chang gets a foot in, but only as far as Umar.
Aggressive pace there on that clearance from Chang, and then
Fernando got stepped on by Anunga.
Yeah, Nunga just came in very aggressively there, and Charleston, the physical play is, if you find the right official, it'll work to your advantage. It has not been the case here for the Battery tonight.
So the Kickers will get an opportunity here.
And I think this says something to what Lee Kalishaw wants to do. Frank Teu he's a sniper. You know, you bring him in to give you some great looks towards goal late, and so by not bringing Teu in and going with Minotillo and Eske, both very capable as well, but maybe looking to do a little bit more holding and kind of maintain that shape, keep possession, and run this one out.
Murrah with the service. Eske chipped into the 6, but Thomas there to deny it. And Murrah keeps it alive. Jackson Eske. And his service jammed away by Mueller. Portillo trying to start the counter. Cordovez for Anunga. Cordovez deflected away again by Eske, and Bolduc ran out of field.
Cordovez very impressive there. It's something we've seen him do. It really, that type of holding possession, that footwork with a lot of bodies around him is what led to his goal tonight.
Charleston will make their first change of the game. They're going to bring Kotaro Higashi.
And this substitution is presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. Higashi doesn't get a whole lot of time to wait. Charleston gets right back to work.
And Chang went down, and after a moment to think about it, that turns into a Charleston free kick. Kotaro Higashi, native of Japan. 5'6", 130-pound midfielder.
Some speed for Charleston now to try to match the Kickers.
Chang trying to find Cordovez. Bolduc for Umar.
It is just really working for Richmond right now.
Murrah's ball for Eske and then Minotillo, but Richmond wound up offside.
Yeah, Minotillo tried to dip back and get himself onside before he broke free for the run, but still a step ahead there on that pass.
A very rare offside whistle tonight.
Yeah, I think that might be the only one we've seen. I know the Kickers wanted a few earlier, but did not get them.
Troyer gets ahead to that. Bolduc tumbling under the challenge of Guerra, which, as it turns out, is a foul.
And it's a smart move by Bolduc there. I mean, he definitely got tangled up, and if you head to the turf at the way this one's been officiated, you do have a good chance of getting a whistle, as aggressive as Charleston's played tonight. So we take another look at it. Bolduc was looking up the pitch, and yeah, that's the hands to the back there that really oversell that for Guerra.
Minotillo gets a piece of that. Bolduc finds Eske.
Good job looking that one off. Now Eske will look it off again.
His service squirts off Minotillo, and They caught a piece of lasso on the way out for Richmond's second quarter of the night.
You know what? I take back what I said. Watching the way SK and Minotillo work together, I think Lee Cullishaw wants another one. I know Frank Taya will come in and give you some good looks at goal, but those two working together, very impressive first few minutes for them in this game.
An interesting role for SK, the William & Mary product. Hasn't scored yet this season. Minotillo, California native, but found his way to Virginia Tech for a stretch. That corner.
Yeah,
handled by
Bolduc,
Chang.
yeah, Bolduc skipped that one in low, didn't get the touch on it that he wanted. I feel like John A had been handling a lot of that service, so with him on the bench, that changes the role a bit.
Roberts jumping up. Woodbine comes away with the possession and drills it off Fernando to earn a Charleston goal kick. Red Army looking pensive right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, they know that the 2-1 is not a comfortable, you know, place, the equalizer.
Now, they had a wager in the first matchup with the Battery supporters group that involved both beverages and, if I'm not mistaken, some video embarrassment. Not sure if that's still in effect or not.
Yeah, they may have went double or nothing here, so there might be more on the line than 3 points for their side they support.
Umar got a piece of that as Bolduc slow to get up, so Richmond's down a man momentarily. Chang, service for Cordovez, but it's alertly gobbled up by Wara.
Wara just made the great move out there and didn't give an opportunity for them to get another look on it. Took it off as soon as it moved into range.
Anunga feeds Woodbine. Serves it in, but Yambi right there with a diving clearance. Now Thomas. Anunga. Chang with a little room. Oh, good ball from Chang. Cordovez denied on the doorstep by Travis Wara as the flag stayed down.
I thought the flag would go up, but it was the ball threaded in behind. Charleston is going to see Travis Wara in their nightmares tonight. Between him coming out and throwing off that Cordovez wide open look and then coming out here and disrupting again.
Regardless of what the stat sheet says, that's his third key save.
Yeah,
here's
Wara,
the corner.
Great job on that one.
That sails past everyone and will trickle out for a Richmond goal kick.
Take another look at it here as Travis Wara just doing phenomenal work in the few times the defense is broken down tonight. And Wara was just right there, textbook.
Well, it was a tremendous run by Guerra. Terrific ball from Chang.
I think
Wara not afraid to coach his guys up a little bit, too.
Oh, not at all. He stays fired up. And I got a little bit of a talking to the ref there. I think he took the long way around to find the furthest Saxon ball kid to get that ball from. And the official let him know there were plenty waiting for him behind the goal.
72nd minute, Richmond foul. Kickers out in front 2-1. They've not won back-to-backs this season. And this would be a somewhat between difficult and shattering loss for the Battery in their quest to grab a regular season title and home field playoff advantage.
Yeah, this is a Battery team that Richmond has watched kind of swing upwards and start to build as Richmond's been working to restructure, minus the rebuilding from the loss of some key personnel. Matthew Delicott, Mike Callahan, Sasha Garez, two of which are on the kickers bench as coaches.
Boy, contact in the box as the ball trickles out, and Travis Wara coming over to offer some objection to how Yambi wound up on the turf.
Yeah, I think
Charleston corner coming.
There's been fouls called for less, and the whistle wasn't there. Charleston's offered. Let's take another look at it, John. It skipped in off of Lee, and Yambi dove in, and he and Chang collided. I don't know. I think Yambi kind of put himself in position there
I'm
for
not
the
sure.
contact.
You couldn't reasonably expect Chang not to have contact. Nice job there by Roberts to get up and win the header. Fernando trying to spring a counter. He tumbles under a challenge that winds up a Charleston foul.
Yeah, and Fernando's still down there, but just did a great job of just holding up play. He knew he didn't have an option. He drew the foul, and It looked like he was sort of grabbed from behind, and he's still a little bit shaken up. As we'll get another look at it here, as we said, he kind of broke free, tried to hold up possession there, and yeah, just grabbed from behind and doing a good job of putting a little bit extra sell on that one.
Minutillo comes away with the ball off Woodbine. Fernando. Yamura. Fernando again as Roberts from distance.
That was a class pass from Fernando there to send that one through. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 Eastern on Sirius XMFC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for the dates and times.
Umar up to win that header. Minutillo for Esque, and Portillo comes away with the ball. Higashi. Back for Lasso. Fernando trying to turn it into a giveaway. Good hustle from Fernando.
Yeah, a lot of heart in chasing that one down, and a great lead pass for Amuro. Takes it in stride.
And he finds Bolduc. Now Troyer with a chance to offer service. Plays it back.
And the kicker's trying to get back to what got them here. Wanted to pull that one back, but Charleston with a lot of pressure.
Minutillo winning the hustle battle there, but his service blocked by Lasso. It will be a Richmond corner, their third of the match.
Yeah, Richmond, who didn't get a chance from the flag in the first half, now have three, and they'll take this one right in front of the Red Army. Minutillo with some good hustle there, a great shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, showed a lot of strength there to hold his line, and then just sent that ball in. And if it deflects out, you got a corner. It's a win-win for him. If it goes in, you've played one into the area for a chance on goal.
Minutillo will take the corner. Red Army less pensive now. The in-swinger, Yambi unable to get ahead to it. Esque keeps it alive.
A lot of hustle right now from this Richmond Kickers team.
Bolduc buys some space. He'll have a go.
That was right on angle with us, John. I love the look. I tensed up, feeling like I wanted to fire that shot, but it just took a little bit of a slice off to the right and hooked away from goal there. But definitely a nice window there. I'd give Bolduc another look from that spot again.
He scored the game winner last week. Cooper puts it back in play. Guerra got ahead to it, but that's volleyed clear by Troyer. Skylar Thomas. Taylor Mueller, 60-year veteran. Chang leaned on a bit by Troyer. Now Mueller beginning to press up. Minutillo trying to spring a teammate, but Troyer with another idea. Bolduc, nice pass. Finds Imura, that one a little short. And Anunga comes away with it.
Anunga, good job to be on the spot, but so quickly the Kickers get numbers back. Everyone except Minutillo right now is in front of the ball.
Thomas trying to find Guerra. Kickers hold their ground. Yambi bangs it clear, then
the veteran
went
defender.
Down in midfield. Here comes Fernando sprinting with Mueller. And the Kickers win another loose ball.
And Fernando held it up there and tried to draw the foul. The Kickers have really made this very large, physical Charleston back four play a much faster game than they want to. And Fernando's still squatting back there.
Cordovez chased that ball down, but we're going to whistle a second Charleston substitution.
Patrick Okonkwo.
So Patrick Okonkwo, who is the academy player, who has not yet seen minutes for Charleston.
Youngster who was an addition out of Atlanta United's academy program.
He's got goose eggs across the stat sheet. So he is getting his first look, and we do still have Fernando still down. Looks like we have a Charleston player down as well. Both laying on their back in the exact same position. I don't know if it's Fernando was still shaken up from the tumble back there and the collision on the far sideline. He had never gotten back up to pace and gotten back to play. Yambi's getting stretched out right now. It's like an outbreak across the field. So we'll have stoppages across as we're getting treatment all over the pitch at the moment.
And the kicker's going to use the opportunity here to
Fans, it's
a couple of guys who
at City Stadium when we return home on September 23rd.
played some hard minutes tonight.
Yeah, Yambi is just an ageless, just phenom, and on top of being the captain and such a great veteran defender out there, he's also an assistant with the VCU soccer team.
Fernando took a pretty good shot there from Mueller, recovered. And then Higashi got him.
Yeah, Higashi did get him with kind of an elbow in the chest there, and I think he just, you see him try to jog it off there, and then when it gets out in front of him, he just went down to a crouching position and never got back into play.
Patrick Okonkwo is one of 9 Atlanta United loanees, but on a night-in, night-out basis, only a couple of those, including Romario Williams and his dancing 15 goals.
I think between the card situation and the fact that they already have some folks that are sitting out tonight,
Number 7, O'Brien Woodbine.
not really much of a choice here.
And now another Charleston substitution, their third and final, also made as play resumes here. And that's Laurent Casadu, another of the very young loanees. He's out of the Ivory Coast, but played academy soccer in Georgia. He's into the game now. Well, it's a nice job by Umar to win that ball and buy some time.
Yeah, I think Mike Anhauser has seen enough of the smaller, faster Richmond Kickers wingers just torching his defenders and opting to bring some of the speed in. And you also just hit that moment where if a guy doesn't have any more left in the tank, you got to go to who's on your bench, and that's a little bit of what's happening right now for Charleston as well.
So Charleston, which has relied so heavily on experience all year, as Jackson Eske gets it going for Amura. Now they've all of a sudden gone daycare young.
Tons of space for the kickers right now.
Here's Bolduc. Troyer. Amura. Troyer again, and the 81st minute. Kickers trying to win back-to-back for the first time this season and end a 7-game winless streak against their ancient rival. But Guerra has some room now.
Yeah, Richmond 24-27-9 all-time in the rivalry, so they'd love to get one notch closer to evening that series up. And that looked like a sharp contact to the ribs there.
And that was Okonkwo.
And I believe that's Fernando who is down again.
So Okonkwo's first
no, that's Alex Lee.
Yeah. Lee banged up by the youngster Okonkwo, who does not lack for physical presence.
No, Okonkwo, a very strong frame there, and just put a forearm right into the back. It's kind of soccer's version of the rabbit punch.
And again, Wara in no real hurry to let this one fly.
Nope, Wara will just slowly wave the team forward, and then I don't think that's the ball he wanted down the sideline, but bounces between Minatillo and Fernando.
And again, a Charleston throw, 83rd minute. Kickers out in front 2-1.
Pretty significant stoppages, though. I think we're going to see a few more extra minutes of soccer here as the clock winds down.
It's Mueller for Charleston. And now here's Casadu getting his first touch. Higashi broken up by Troyer. Roberts trying to find Bolduc. That was broken up by Thomas. His service kept alive by Casadu. Portillo Casadu again, cleared by Amura.
Yeah, Alex Lee came in behind there and made a class tackle just to disrupt that a bit. Charleston doing a great job in that sequence of playing balls in, but not to any player who could turn those towards goal. Everyone could get a touch on it, but no one could send it anywhere near Wara.
Alex Lee playing the ball up for Fernando. And that winds up to the dismay of Guerra. A Richmond throw. Or a free kick at it.
Lee Kalishaw, the Richmond Kickers coach for 17 seasons, up on his feet.
He and Mike Anhauser go back a very long way.
Oh, they're
head coach.
They're a huge part of the book of this rivalry.
Chang lays it off in the middle of the field for Guerra. Now Higashi. Okonkwo. Okonkwo showing a little burst. But his service turns into a goal kick.
So Okonkwo has shown that he's got the pace and he's got the energy, but a little bit over pursuing there, both in his physicality and on the touch on the ball.
You can see why Atlanta United finds the 19-year-old Nigerian intriguing.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of strength there and quickness.
Almost a Josie Altidore frame.
He really does. And if he can learn to play that holding possession, add that tool to his game like Altidore does, I think he'll find significant minutes coming in this Charleston club.
Mueller went up the back of Minatillo there for a free kick for Richmond, and Minatillo's had a nice impact on this match off the bench.
He has. I mean, just a few touches, but a lot of disruption.
Here's Troyer.
Definitely kept the Charleston defense honest.
Umar looking for Fernando, ran out of field.
Good thought there by Umar, though, and Fernando has won that battle more times than he hasn't tonight, trying to make those plays down the right side against Lasso.
Charleston wanted a fast goal kick right there, a fast free kick off of that. And
yeah, center official is not going to let that one happen, wants to get back in position.
And now Cooper lets it fly. 86th minute, Kickers cling to a 1-goal lead. Umar and Cordovez, it's a handball to Umar.
Seen a lot of those tonight, none of them with any intention, but just a lot of incidental contact, especially on those 50-50 ones out of the air.
Portillo will take the free kick. Lasso got a head to it. Guerra got a piece.
Guerra did everything he could to try to set that one up. And just not enough quickness there. Yambi got to it first and made another great clearance.
Portillo for Thomas. Umar broke that up, but it's a Charleston throw. A nice job by Troyer. Recovered by Mueller. And Bolnock deflected out by Chang. And Richmond's going to make their final substitution. And here comes Frank Teyu.
Yeah, Frank Teu's going to come on, I believe, for Luis Fernando. Frank Teu's a late season signing for the Richmond Kickers. Came over from the indoor professional side, and he's been a kind of a super sub for Richmond.
I think a good sub. Fernando's really given maximum effort tonight. He's a little bit beat up.
Yeah, Frank Teu with just the 1 goal to his credit, but he was a big part of Richmond closing out and creating that opportunity for Bolduc late in the match against Toronto last week.
Mueller's rather speculative ball chased down by Troyer, who's under some duress from Okonkwo again, but that's a Richmond goal kick.
I think Okonkwo came in with kind of one main piece of instructions is just run that motor at the ball as fast as you can and as much as you possibly can, and he's sort of been all over Richmond's defensive half since he's entered into the contest. Bolduc's also done a great job really shifting into a little bit of a defensive role, staying with Thomas, not getting drawn away by the ball, and not allowing things to open up here down the right flank for Charleston.
Here's Bolduc. That was broken up by Thomas, but it's a kicker throw. SK in no giant hurry as we approach the 89th minute.
Even Travis Wara trying to shout some instructions up the pitch to where SK should send that throw in.
Here's SK, now Tayu Imura. SK trying to recover, but
Tayu's got that deceptive quickness, the way he shuffles his feet around the ball. Makes it so hard to anticipate where it's going to go.
I think SK just got a yellow for delaying the game.
To try to step in front of it, and with a close one here in the final minutes, that's not going to be as easily tolerated.
Fourth yellow card of the game, second for Richmond, came in the 89th minute. Here's Portillo. Now Chang. To the middle of the park, and that's broken up by Roberts, who sends a moonshot. Volleyed forward by Mueller, out for a Richmond throw.
See the body language, kind of heads down, some shoulders dropping a little bit for Charleston. This one not done yet, though.
Chang plays it forward. That's chased down by Roberts.
So much more comfort for the Richmond kickers with Roberts and Yambi back there, and they've really been doing a lot of the heavy lifting defending this attack.
Cordova's tumbled under the Moldick challenge, and there's no foul. Mueller finds Higashi. Now Guerra lays it off in the box. Desperate defending from Troyer, then Yambi, and it's out for a corner.
Yeah, Troyer came in from behind on the right side there, but Yambi was able to get the true slide tackle, but it was a great through ball there by Guerra, and Troyer got a piece of it, and then Yambi was allowed to clean it up despite the contact. Good clean defending there.
And the corner glances off Cordovez and winds up a Richmond goal kick. And we're going to be here a bit, 5 minutes of additional time.
Yeah, we had the long stoppage for the injuries. We've had the two bookings here that had some of the residual conversation. Travis Wara's taking his time. I don't know if he had a little bit of a conversation with the officials, so I'm sure the watch got stopped there as well.
All of the scoring tonight in the first half, and we got a delayed whistle here as Lasso went down and the foul whistled against Tayu. Now Thomas, Portillo.
And Richmond defending the lead made all three of their changes up top.
Interesting decision as Roberts broke that up. SK for Lee went down hard. A late challenge.
That was an ugly foul there with no real play on the ball, and I think we may see another booking here.
It may be Lee. He needs to back away.
Yeah, Lee's very heated as well, but Lee just played that ball and ran right through it, you know.
And then Okonkwo yelling about the time and time wasting.
Yeah, there was no play for the ball there, so I don't know if the booking didn't come out. That was a lucky break for Charleston. Yambi aggressively pleading the case still. Frank Tayu just stood his ground.
Oh, now we're going to get a Mueller foul as he was climbing on Tayu, and it's a Richmond free kick and a dangerous spot.
I know, that's just the strength of Frank Tayu. That's what he brings when you put him in that 9 role, just standing up there holding his ground, and he made it very clear that what the defender's intent was and drew that whistle.
We've still got about 3 minutes.
It's getting extremely, it feels like a rivalry now.
Charleston's got a lot at stake here.
Earlier in the night, it just sort of felt like two teams trying to find their way, but it is getting chippy, and that rivalry environment is really picking up here.
Imura over the ball. Imura, and it's in!
Uday Imura with a beautiful touch near post. Phenomenal strike on the ball. Nothing Cooper could do about it. He dove towards it. He got the glove on it, but it went right into the post, up into the top of the net. Udai Amora, we saw him when he was healthy last year make beautiful free kick strikes, and this is what Udai Amora can do for you when he's at 100%. Here's the Draper Aiden Athletics replay.
And Amora off the schneid for 2017. 3 minutes into stoppage time, and the Richmond Kickers have opened up a 3-1 lead.
The Kickers, who had clawed a lot tonight to defend that lead, have put it in their pocket.
Another foul right at midfield as Kumar went down.
Amora with a beautiful strike, a diving play there. He went right for the near post. Cooper made the read late off the fingertips and into the top of the net, but Amora did not make that one easy for Cooper.
A phenomenal strike of the free kick. And
this is the Richmond Kickers do not look like the team sitting in 14th right now in the East.
No, they've just had their most productive night, potentially in a win all season. Okonkwo galloping out to midfield. He lets fly from distance, but can't find the target.
No sweat for Wara there, 3-1. And the flags are flying in the Red Army.
Should be in about the final minute of stoppage time to see if referee decides to add a bit more with some of the activity in extra time. With the Kickers closing in on big 3 points. Travis Wara's goal kick headed forward by Lasso. Guerra finds Chang. That's cut off by Roberts. Okonkwo trying to win it back. And we get a foul whistled against Roberts. And 2 balls on the field again. Smoothly handled.
Saxon ball kids there for another great cleanup work.
Portillo will put it back in play in the dying embers of this one. Boy, he wants that one back.
He does. Bolduc peeled off of standing in front of him and sort of left that window open.
And that's it. The final whistle. And Udai Amora and the Richmond Kickers have won back-to-back games for the first time in 2017. They defeat Charleston 3-1.
This is a young team that has aged this season. They are now healthy. Players have come along. They've learned their position. They found the rotation. This is the potential of this squad when Lee Colashaw has everybody he wants playing exactly where he's wanted them to be all season.
The Kickers equal a season high for goals in a game and defeat their ancient arch rivals. We're back to recap it next on CBS 6.3 and USL YouTube.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna lean on up when I cross the line. Standing high above this moment in time. Gonna push through the shine. Gonna hold on tonight. 'Cause I believe in love at this moment in time. This moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
We are back at City Stadium. John Emmett along with Joey Ellswick and the Richmond Kickers celebrating with the Red Army. They've won back-to-back games for the first time all season. This is a big one, knocking off their longtime rivals, the Charleston Battery, 3-1, ending a 7-game winless skid at the hands of Charleston. And the Kickers now over 500 at home, and it's a tough loss for Charleston, battling for the spot at the top of the table. There's 3 points that maybe got away. Battery struck very early tonight. Less than 2 minutes into the game, Charleston was out in front 1-0. Great ball by Chang to keep it alive, and Cordovez getting that central striker role with Romario Williams out serving a suspension. And the Cuban defector made it 1-0 Charleston.
On paper, I thought Charleston could roll them there. I mean, they're the third-place team coming in. The Kickers have struggled, but things change very quickly right here with the Sonny John strike.
Sonny John, a huge first half, and that bullet that came in the 17th minute knotted the game at 1 apiece.
And then John did a great job of just breaking down the middle after working the flanks all night. And Oliver, one touch, looked towards goal, put the head down. Exactly what Kalishaw would want him to do.
Oliver's second of the year, Johnne's second of the year, and the Kickers were ahead to stay. Then deep into stoppage time, it was Udai Imura banging home a free kick in a physical late stage of the match. That was the dagger that ended the Battery's hopes of stealing points on the road. The Red Army loves it, and the Richmond Kickers have a 3-1 win.
A beautiful job tonight by the Kickers, as we talked about heading out to break, John. This is just a young team that's been kind of growing up on the pitch, and it's starting to come together. For the Kickers, they've got the players they want healthy, and they've got the players in the right place. And before we head out, John, one more time, just want to hit this again. Remember, folks, the USL working with those affected by Hurricane Harvey. Donate to the American Red Cross, 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation.
Next up for the Kickers, they are at Charleston Independence next week, first of 3 straight on the road, back at City Stadium September 23rd to face the Rochester Rhinos, while Charleston will try to have to recover on the road against top-of-the-table Louisville next week. For Mike Voyak and our outstanding Richmond Kickers video crew, John Emmett with Joey Ellswick, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Kickers win 3-1. Until next time, so long, everybody. Victory for Charleston at home. Bad shake with the service. Headed away by Yambi. Loose ball in the 6. Cordovez! And Charleston's on the scoreboard.
Tough break for the Kickers to give one up early. It was a great, just a strong play there by Cordovez to back up, make that turn, and just poke that one around. That was a tough one for Wara, John, as we'll get another look here.
Victory for Charleston at home. Bad shake with the service. Headed away by Yambi. Loose ball in the 6. Cordovez! And Charleston's on the scoreboard.
Tough break for the Kickers to give one up early. It was a great, just a strong play there by Cordovez to back up, make that turn, and just poke that one around. That was a tough one for Wara, John, as we'll get another look here.
Cordovez, the Cuban defector, and the kicker's unable to clear. That's a big play by Chang to keep the attack alive.
Yeah, I mean, Roberts was there, as was Yambi, and that was sort of the problem. I think they collided same place, same time there, and then Cordovez just a strong move to hold possession there. Made a great turn, good clean strike towards goal, right across the shot of goal there, and Wara just nothing he could do about that. By the time he saw it, it was already by him.
So the substitute striker getting Charleston on the board in the first 2 minutes. Oddly enough, that may be a good sign for the Kickers. They gave up a 4th-minute goal last week and equalized a minute later, went on to win.
Alex Lee was a big part of that. That assist to the head of Sonny Janet there that found its way into the goal, got him a spot on the USL Team of the Week. So Kickers